Good morning, everyone. I'm back in my chilly office just because it's easier to do things like that here at my desk this morning than out in the warmer living room. Anyway, uh, welcome, and I hope you had a wonderful celebration of Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year starting yesterday. I've been working on three or four things all at the same time, which is, I guess, just what I do in my unorganized way of working. Uh, anyway, I wanted to talk today about the subject of remembering who you are, which it's really easy to forget who you are, and not just because you're as old as I am. Uh, there is for me anyway, there's just a brief window of clarity that opens shortly after I'm awake, and I know it that I'll have in the morning. I know I'm awake, and I know I'm going to have to get out of bed soon and pee, and get the day started. There's a moment of clarity where I know who I am, and it's not always a comfortable thought. Not because it's scary or anything. It's just that it is so awesomely and rationally unbelievable. Don't worry, it soon passes, and I'm off and running for the day. In the Son of Chicken Kabbalah, there is an entire 3-degree initiatory process whereby one is initiated into the fundamentals of the Kabbalah, as outlined in the classic tiny little text called the Sepher Yetzirah. This is an Amorc published version that I got way back in the early 70s. Okay, and there's many beautiful, beautiful editions. I like this one because it has the Hebrew on one side and the English on the other. And part of the Kabbalah initiation, at the very beginning, as the initiate, the candidate is being brought in to start this 3-degree process, they're introduced in such a way as to remind the candidate, if you will, who they are. Many initiatory degree ceremonies start off by saying, the officer that brings you in is, "Whom have you there?" Now, you could just stop the whole initiation right there and say, "Go home and think about that." Okay, that'll be plenty of initiation anyway. But anyway, I'm going to, the chapter 1, section 1, just lays out the whole idea about the Hebrew alphabet, the tree of life, the paths on the tree of life, the Sephiroth on the tree of life, in one freaking paragraph. And I'm not even going to read the whole paragraph. But it starts off by going, Yah. Now that's the divine name of God, okay? In English, it's Y-A-H, but in Hebrew, it's just Yod-He. So the first word of the Sepher Yetzirah is Yah, the Lord of hosts, the living God, King of the universe, omnipotent, all-kind and merciful, supreme and extolled, who is eternal, sublime, and most holy, ordained and created the universe in 32 mysterious paths of wisdom, and let's see, 32 mysterious paths of wisdom. They consist of a decade out of nothing and of 22 fundamental letters. He divided the 22 consonants into 3 divisions: 3 mothers, fundamental letters or first elements, 7 double, and 12 simple consonants. And out of that, we can build the tree of life, the cube of space, the temple of your own. Now, Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford, who we all know was lazy, his translation of that is deity, whom we call Yah, yeah man, Jehovah of hosts, Joe Heavy, what it is, the big kahuna, the mighty duh, the living Elohim, King of the universe, omnipotent, all King and merciful, supreme and extolled, is all-powerful and eternal, who is really, really holy and very, very large, who is so big it is both king and queen of the universe, who is so all-encompassing, huge, that it has nowhere to sit down because all the chairs are inside itself, who, because it is everywhere and nowhere, everything and nothing, has no one to play with. This dude of dudes created the universe with the help of 3 imaginary friends: numbers, letters, and words. In 32 mysterious paths of wisdom, they consist of 10 Sephiroth out of nothing, and of 22 letters. The deity divided the 22 letters into 3 divisions: 3 mothers, fundamental letters, 7 double letters, and 12 simple letters. And then it goes on in the same way that the Sepher Yetzirah goes on, only more vulgarly. Okay. The first degree initiation. The candidate is brought in. This is the part of the reception of the candidate. Now, this, or all of these initiation ceremonies, are written in such a way as if you had 2 or 3 officers, you could actually set up a temple and perform these initiations. But they're also written in such a way as you're studying them is a form of self-initiation. So that's why I I'm proud of this book. Okay. The introducing officer says, "Is your will to be received into the mysteries of our holy order?" Yes. Then your will be done. Take your shoes from off your feet, for the ground whereon you stand is holy ground. Then They say earthly eyes cannot behold the light and beauty of Kabbalah. And so they're handed a blindfold. You and you alone bear responsibility for your own condition of blindness. Hold this blindfold firmly over your eyes with the fingertips of both hands. Then, earthly ears cannot hear the pure music of Kabbalah. You and you alone bear the responsibility for your own conditions of deafness. Cover your ears with the thumbs of both hands. Then the officer claps, and then the master says, "Who is this?" Honored teacher, standing before you is Yah, God of all creation. But she has fallen asleep and has forgotten she is God. In her dreams, she cannot see her own light or hear the music of her own creation. Hail unto thee, Yah, God of all creation, Divine One, beyond whom nothing is and without whom no thing can be. You have fallen into the deepest slumber. What you mistakenly believe to be your life as a mortal woman is a masquerade, a dream life within a dream life within a dream life. Even the words you hear me speaking are dream words. They are but the faintest echoes of a truth that can be for you good tidings of great joy. You have cursed yourself to remain asleep until you will to awaken. O Divine One, you and you alone can arouse yourself from this self-imposed prison of dreams. O Divine Yah, God of all creation, I ask you, is it truly your will to break your own curse and awaken and remember who you are? Hopefully the answer is yes. Okay. In a workshop that I originally did, I believe this was in Shanghai. It was about Kabbalah, okay, and I was trying to, in a sense, explain to an audience from a culture that was rich in mystical traditions of their own. Okay, don't try to, I was going into Tao land, and trying to talk about Chicken Kabbalah, but it was called the Toolbox of Practical Magic, is what I was setting them up for meditations on the Tree of Life, awakening from the dream within a dream within a dream. But just as sort of a cherry on top of what I just shared with you there, I said practical magic is willfully doing things to cause changes to occur in conformity with your will. The magician can only effectively bring about these changes in his or her life by first harmonizing and attuning his or her individual consciousness with the great universal consciousness of existence itself. Most people call this great universal consciousness God. But that's a term that's easily misunderstood. Let's think about it this way. An individual drop of water is not very powerful by itself. It thinks it is alone and helpless. But if that drop could attune itself to the rhythms and the formulas of the vast ocean around it, it starts to exist in perfect harmony with, and with the same immense power as, the great sea itself. Kabbalah and Kabbalistic principles can help us harmonize and attune the individual consciousness, conscious to the great universal conscious. I'll say that again because Kabbalah and Kabbalistic principles can help us harmonize and attune individual consciousness to the great universal consciousness. Today we'll actually begin the attunement process. We'll start by experiencing how the great universal consciousness itself got itself fragmented into you and me. And then we'll begin the process of awaking from the dream within a dream within a dream. Are you ready to begin? Okay, get comfortable in your chair and take a few relaxing breaths. I'm going to start by asking you to pretend, just for a moment, that you are God. Actually, not a little God, like a god of rain or wind or fire, celestial God of the heavens. I want you to pretend that you are the source itself, the divine singularity that existed even before the universe was created. Just imagine that you are the one great divine consciousness that came before the Big Bang of creation. You, of course, are formless because forms don't exist yet. You are simply pure, infinite, and timeless bliss. As God, I'd imagine you'd feel a little lonely. After all, you are absolutely alone in your infinite singularity. There's no one else. There's no thing else. There is no outside of yourself. You are so infinitely singular that you're not even self-aware. For some reason, however, you desire to become self-aware. You desire to entertain yourself with yourself. So, because you are God and can do anything you want, you decided to dive into your own bliss. And you start to dream a dream of colorful worlds. You delight in filling these worlds with galaxies and stars and planets. You enjoy populating these worlds with dream civilizations and characters. Watching all these adventures entertains you for billions of aeons. But then you get bored of just observing these grand dramas and comedies, and you think to yourself, I'd like to take part in all this fun. I want to be totally involved in this movie. What if I actually stepped inside my dream and forgot that I'm God? That would really be an adventure. I can amuse myself with the adventure of waking myself up. I will live in a dream inside another dream, inside another dream, inside another dream, inside another dream, inside more dreams, and oh, what adventures I'll have. That, my friends, is exactly what happened. Your true identity is that of God. And you've fallen asleep and are dreaming a dream inside of a dream inside of many more layers of dreams. And right now, you are dreaming you are the person sitting in that chair. The Kabbalist magician sets to work to systematically wake up from one dream after another until he or she awakens to Godhead. In order to wake up, we must first understand how we fell asleep. And that's where the numbers and the Holy Hebrew alphabet are used as tools in the magician's magical toolbox. And, well, I'll just finish off this part here. But first, what is Kabbalah? The Hebrew Kabbalah has a 1,000-year traditional history among scholars and intellectuals of the Jewish religion. Just like Eastern sages and mystics, the Kabbalists were aware that God and the secrets of God are present in all things and at all times. Eventually, certain passionately religious Kabbalists chose to focus their Kabbalistic meditations exclusively on their own religion's sacred scriptures. They did this by meditating on every word and letter of these scriptures. They converted the letters of these words into numbers so that they might squeeze even more wisdom from their meditations through the elegant beauty and music of mathematics. The ancient Jewish Kabbalists developed their art and practices to very high levels of intellectual complexity. But in their religious enthusiasm, some of these Kabbalists became blind to how this great technique could be applied to all the things in the universe, not just their own religion's books. They started to believe that only people of the Jewish religion should be allowed to study Kabbalah. They lost sight of the fundamental Zen-like truth that if you look hard enough at anything, you'll eventually see everything. And now it's time to start identifying as Yah. She loves you, Yah, Yah, Yah. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to move to a warmer room, and I will see you tomorrow. And until then, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other, and try to remember who you are. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.